Welcome back, everybody. We have the great pleasure and honor to be in the presence of the...
Too much. That's too much. No one's believing you.
Well, we want to welcome Dave Brown, who became the president in January.
Correct.
This year, and it is so awesome to have someone who is, and I want to say like energy, charisma, fresh ideas, everything. So welcome to the table. You're already what you've done. You've represented us so well. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here, and thank you very much for the invite. It's always nice to come on and give you a bit of perspective from what's happening at CREB.
Yeah, we almost have a bit of a tradition now with Cliff coming in and everything. We're going to have our annual President's Update on CIR Live now.
Absolutely. Cool. Why not? I mean, I'm sure Tom again next year would love the opportunity to come in.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right.
Yeah, so we have a couple things that we're going to fire through here, and then we'll just kind of banter at the end. But this is incredible. Like, CREB is you guys are doing some stuff for some people here.
We're trying.
It's impressive. Well, I'm looking at this lesson. We're gonna get Dave to talk about a few of these, but like I said, the mix of social events, professional events, fundraising, recognition. Like, you have such a great team. So let's start talking. We've been talking about the Roar Awards every single week, from getting people nominated and sharing their words and getting registered. Tell us a little bit about the plan for getting into that now.
Well, this year is our 4th year of the Roar Awards, which is great. Success the last 3 years. I don't know if you guys were
every
able
year
to
we're
attend.
involved. Yeah, every year.
Absolutely wonderful. I mean, from your brokerage alone, you've had some great winners in the past. Lindsay certainly being one of them. I know Julianne Nasseri.
Yeah,
going to pronounce it right.
Yeah.
Margaret Neff, friend of mine as well. Chris Mulders.
You got it.
Yeah, and Robin Moser.
You got it.
In having just 3 years in the past, to have that many members come from your brokerage, wonderful.
Thank
you. Only
We're
goes to prove, you've got a good operation here. You got some great people are doing some wonderful things out in the real estate industry.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
So the Roar Awards now are different location this year. It was nice at the TELUS last year. We're having it at Hotel Arts this year, down on 12th Avenue for anybody who's not familiar. And it's on May the 27th. The thing that I really want to let you know is pre-sale tickets start tomorrow.
Really?
18th.
Okay, that's good to know.
So yeah,
every
we
meeting
keep telling people to register. We're like, when we don't know, so you can start tomorrow.
Start tomorrow. You can go online and buy your tickets certainly through CREB's webpage. Just go on there, look up the Roar Awards, and away you go.
We hope to have a huge contingent there. We're really excited about it, as we are every year. So.
And who's the comedian
this year? We actually have 2 this year.
Really?
Yeah, we've got a gentleman named Graham Neal, who's been around for a while, quite a good stand-up comedian. And then Donovan Workham is his last name. Also, he's won various different competitions as a comedian.
Nice.
Great guy.
You guys
really
pick good people. I really look forward to that.
Well, we've got a good team up there. They go through and they vet all the comedians and say, hey, who's the best person that we can get to have come out and do this event?
And comedians are hard pickings.
They are.
Right? Like, you never know. And you guys pick good ones. So that's
we had
impressive.
Jerry D last year, who, I mean, was just priceless. And everyone who follows the show will know what he's like. And he was great. And we're glad to have these 2 guys this year. I think it'll be tremendous. And
I just want to make a statement. I had the pleasure of serving on the Roar Committee last year. And maybe even the previous year. No. But the last year anyways.
No, you got picked.
That's right. That's right. No. But this is the process and the transparency in the process to pick these winners now has just escalated so much that it's truly incredible. I was a little bit overwhelmed as a committee member, being like, "Oh, like, is this all necessary?" Like, I had my coin out. I was gonna flip. Just kidding. But
am I gonna win or not?
But the rating system that is done, and you can't actually see who the candidates are when you're doing the ratings on the answers and things like that. So it's actually very blind. Very transparent. I just want to say that because some people are like, oh, so-and-so got picked because of politics and stuff. You actually can't. Like, as the committee member, you can't do it.
Well, you got to think what the awards are. They were created by realtors for realtors.
Yeah.
And, the myth is out there that the real estate board picks these people. We have no idea. I'm the president of the board. I have no idea who's been nominated, who's been picked whatsoever. And I won't know until I have the sheet in front of me the day of the event.
Yeah,
it's
KPMG hands you the envelope,
Absolutely.
audited, and just kidding.
Well, it comes down pretty close to that, that's for sure.
I like
we don't
it.
know, obviously, we have videos that all the people that get nominated,
Right.
we do videos with them, and then whoever's selected, that's the video that gets played.
That's
And
great.
hopefully they're able to attend the event as well.
That's
So,
great.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me about Board Builders Luncheon.
Yeah, Board Builders is, CREB is an association. We're made up of our members. Everything we do is for our members. And we're lucky to have a great group that like to volunteer at our board. And each year, to recognize those volunteers, we have what's called Board Builders Luncheon. So this year, it's kind of neat. It's at the Calgary Golf and Country Club. And for people who are golfers, I mean, we'd all love to play there. And,
Yeah, I was
and
gonna say, yeah.
It's as private as you can get in Calgary.
It is.
You know, I've been fortunate. I've had some friends and been able to play there. And the clubhouse is beautiful. Great location just off 50th Avenue and Elbow Drive. And we're having this on, just to make sure I got the date right here, next week, the 27th, from 11:30 to 2:30. And in order to attend, you have to have put in some hours at the board as a volunteer. You will receive an invitation. If you haven't received it already, certainly get hold of Glenna Roth, who's our volunteer coordinator, and check to make sure that you're on the list to attend.
If somebody wants to have their name on a list for volunteer opportunities with CREB, how does somebody put their name? Is it for a specific opportunity that you have to apply for? Or is there kind of just a call me if there's ever a need?
Well, it's kind of a combination of both. We established a couple of years ago now our actual portal on the CREB website. So if you log in on the right-hand side, you'll see the volunteer portal.
Okay.
You can click on there, put forward your name, it goes into Glenna, and they actually will go through and vet you and say, you know,
great.
what do you like? Where would you like to focus? Here's some opportunities we have now. Will this work for you? Or we will have opportunities
Wow,
down the line.
that's fabulous.
So, yeah.
If anyone's interested, I
Well,
thought we
no,
should.
I know I at the CREB forecast, I see a bunch of our realtors out there doing this stuff. So
Absolutely.
kudos to you guys.
You bet.
I
Keep
snuck-
coming, we appreciate
I
it.
snuck in, so I will be there, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, we couldn't run any of our events if we didn't have the volunteers, and we appreciate it. And that's what the whole luncheon is
get it.
about, just to come, have a great lunch on us, and let's enjoy the day. Appreciate your work.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wonderful. CREB AGM.
AGM
This
coming
is a-
up this week.
That's a big one. And are there still some spots left for that?
Well, we're actually sold out,
Kudos.
which is the
Wow.
first
Yeah, I was gonna
time,
say.
Cliff Stevenson, that we saw. I just got to get that shot
Absolutely.
in. Right? Each year as the president, we try to have more people than we had in the previous
Appreciate
year. And we're completely sold out this year. But you can still log on and watch the whole AGM online.
I love that.
Absolutely, especially your viewers here as well. Your members
Totally.
are used to doing it.
That's right.
Feel free, you can do it, but you do have to register first.
Well, now, can you do, is there online voting this year?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Wow.
Absolutely. So every item that comes in, not only online voting, you can ask questions.
Wow.
So when we are standing up there and we say, okay, members of the audience go to the mic, and we'll also say members at home, certainly type
have
in
a
your question.
moderator that will-
Absolutely.
So
That
good.
will take it and go through and pass on the questions, and we'll answer them that way as well.
Well done.
You know? Absolutely. We're really delighted to have
That's
it.
very
And
cool.
to me, it's light years ahead of many boards out there. We're fortunate to be in the position that we can do this.
Awesome. Well, we have another question here that I know you never hear anything about
Okay,
whatsoever.
but before you go to that, let me just finish off on
Yeah,
the AGM.
sure.
Just so people know, it starts at 9 o'clock. We're
Oh,
going to
right.
have an
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
expo,
When? Yes.
first of all, and then the kickoff starts at 9:30.
Okay.
Okay, so 9:30 to about 11:30, we're going to take a bit of a break. Then we have our keynote speaker coming in. And the guy this year is Jim DeWalt. Okay?
Oh, I love Jim.
He is a fantastic guy. For people who don't know, he's the dean of the Haskayne School of Business at the University of Calgary. Great author, great speaker. And he's going to come in and talk about the real estate program that's now available at the university. So university students can go through and get a degree in real estate studies now. It starts this fall. So it's a tremendous thing. So we've got good caliber people in our business. It's going to elevate even more as we move into people coming in with a degree in real estate.
I met with him 2 years ago when that was first being proposed,
Yes.
and it sounded intense.
It
in
is.
the best way possible, especially from like a commercial aspect too, right? Like they really look at like the
Absolutely.
big business behind it, and it was unbelievable. That was a long time ago, but it sounded incredible.
And for members out there who are interested, you can go and take these courses. You don't have to be a full-time student at the University of Calgary. You can take these through night classes. You know, they'll run on a Tuesday or a Wednesday from 6 till 10, something like this, and you can get every one of the courses that are being offered.
This actually sounds like something that would be an entire another CR Live topic.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
absolutely.
should.
Yeah,
We should
that's
do that.
absolutely.
Love it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off,
it's-
but
no, it's perfect,
I
it's
thought it
perfect.
was
I'm
very
glad you did.
important.
Yeah.
We wanted
Okay.
to get
Okay.
that
So
in.
again, so when
Yeah.
when and where? And
So again, Thursday, starting at 9:30.
register online.
Register online. And to be honest, even though we're sold out, if somebody showed up, we wouldn't really kick you out, right?
Well, with the trade show and
There's
stuff
always
like
a few
that, too.
people that won't.
Well, there's no
Absolutely.
shows.
And
yeah.
the trade show, some that don't show. And if we have to open the doors and let people be out in the foyer to hear it, we will as well. We only
great.
have to limit it because of the fire marshal says we can only have so many people in there.
That's right.
So-
That's right. So the 160 people that are online right now, I'm just kidding.
No, but, and again, just going online, it's so easy. You just log into CREB. There's a tab on the top that says About CREB.
Yep.
You click on that, and then you'll get a drop down on the left side. Just click on the annual general meeting, and then you'll have the registration button there. Click on it and put your name in.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
Excellent.
SentriLock
SentriLock.
President update in
Absolutely.
terms of give us the, we talked a little bit pre-meeting here.
Right.
You explained kind of the history. We haven't had you on. We did have Cliff on to explain a little bit, but give us your perspective, where things came from really quickly, Reader's Digest, and then
You bet.
what's next and where we're at.
Okay, so just to go back, a lot of people, the first question is, why the heck did we have to change?
Right.
We had to change. No ifs, ands, or buts. The boxes that we had with Supra have come to the end of their life. So as of the end of December, we're going to have to change everything else. So we had to decide what was the best product that was out there. So we had a group that was made up of brokers, made up of realtors, made up of management, and a couple of directors. So we had a large group that went through everything that was available to us. And after they went through weeks and weeks and months of this work, they came out that the Sentry product was a better product to go to than the Supra product. Okay? That plain and simple, by leaps and bounds. The fact that it was going to save members money over a 7-year contract period was even better. And the number was $1 million that it was going to save. And people will say, well, my fees didn't go down. No, they didn't, but they also didn't go up. If we would have been with another product, you may have seen an increase in your fees. Right? So we went through, and the first thing to remember is these boxes are now electronic. The boxes we've had in the past have always been mechanical.
Well, and one of the things that you mentioned is regardless of which brand you went with, it would have been digital versus mechanical. So you would have seen some of the similar.
Yeah, we could have had a problem with either system. Now, I mean, we did our homework on this. We checked with boards that had this product all over our country, all over the U.S. We got reference left, right, and center. The number one thing they came back and said about SentriLock constantly was the best customer service they have ever had with anyone.
Wow.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah.
For the people out there who don't know, SentriLock is owned 100% by NAR, the National Association of Realtors out of the U.S. Their focus is customer service to make sure the product is good and everybody is happy with it. Now, like any electronic thing, you're going to have some flaws. I'm sure you've had things in your system, maybe a light go out or anything.
Yeah.
It
We all
never
have
happens.
it. We all have it.
Yeah.
You get a brand new iPhone,
Exactly. Yep.
it craps out or whatever it happens to be, right? Electronics is electronics. We happened to get a batch that wasn't good. You know, again, a majority of them are good, some weren't good.
Yep.
We ended up having 381 units that went back there that they actually tested every single unit, and they found that 99% of the problem had to do with the firmware update. So the firmware update was created. They've got the first one, they tested it, they launched it a little bit, and we had some people that went up to number 42 was the firmware update. And it fixed most of the problems, but not all of them. So they kept working on it, and then they released number 44. And 44 has now taken care of about 99% of the problems.
Nice.
Fantastic.
You know, like anything electronic, are we going to have a faulty box now and then? Absolutely. People aren't aware of the problems that we had with Supra, you know, over time. It was a box that was a good box as well, But there were a lot of problems that we had that, we didn't publicize
When
all
you
the
just didn't hear
problems.
about them all at once.
Correct. I mean, from boxes getting jammed, I don't know if you've been out there. I got told by a super rep that if it got jammed, take it and pound it off the steps. I said, really? That's how you want me to fix something? Break it?
Yeah.
But that was a major problem. We had people would get out there, it would cycle. They'd have to delete their app and reset it again. It happens with any of these units. The thing is, how did SentriLock step up and help us out?
Right.
Well, they sent a full team out here.
This is a good story.
This is great. They sent a full team out here, dispatched them here to do the firmware updates. You don't need to bring them into to SentriLock people to have it done. You could have done it yourself. It's very easy. I actually have 38 boxes myself,
Wow.
and I did all of mine. And what I do is, I knew I was going out driving for an hour or two looking at properties. I'd take 6 or 8 in the car with me, and I'd start the firmware update. And it'd take about 12 minutes to 13 minutes for each one to update. And I'd just drive around, that one's done, the little lights would go off, put it to the side, do the next one. And that's how I did mine. But to save some people time, SentriLock set up the people here. They set them up at the board, at the Blackfoot Inn, and also up at, I believe it was the Sandman on 16th Avenue Northwest, to help people who were in the outlying districts that they didn't have to come all the way into the board.
Nice.
So they got people to come in, change it, the firmware update. We think it's eliminated just about all the problems. Will there ever be a problem? It's, as I said earlier,
It's impossible that there wouldn't be.
It's impossible there
Moving
wouldn't
parts,
be.
yep.
But the chance of it happening is very slim. And I mean, if people are saying, oh, well, our board's just saying this, the town of Canmore, the realtors up there have been using this system for years. They love it. Canmore is associated not with the Calgary Real Estate Board, but with Hinton is their board. And I mean, they've loved it. They looked into it for a long time. And people have come up with all kinds of myths out there, and they don't exist. A lot of the things that are being said out there, we've got one that said, we went with this particular one because maybe there was a kickback for the directors.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Well, and I think,
it's ridiculous.
And I don't want to say we see this a lot, but even you see the way people interact with other corporations. I think it's important to assume that people aren't out to screw you.
No.
If we implement something and something goes wrong or there's an unintended consequences, just like the board, people are trying to do really good by you.
Absolutely.
And if something happens, it's not because there's evil people at the run of the helm that
That's
are
right.
sitting back like this saying, let's spend months and months of our time planning something that's going to make realtors miserable. Like, that just does not happen.
No.
Obviously.
And CREB's a high-performance organization. We actually look into the future constantly to see what is going to be the next step, the next thing coming, etc.
Yeah.
We don't change just to change, and if we are going to change, we do a lot of background work to make sure that the changes that we're going to make
do.
are the best possible ones for our membership.
Oh, and I got to give a big shout out to Shane, who
Yeah.
has just, and
That's
when
relaxing in Hawaii at the moment.
That's
Thanks,
right.
Shane. Yeah.
But yeah, ever since he's been in at the helm there on the technology side, he's just really looked at it from zero-based thinking. If we were to start all over again, what would we do now? And as each of these contracts come up, has come up with great solutions. So kudos.
And that's good.
great.
We just finished our strat planning a week ago, the Calgary Real Estate Board. So we've got our plan in place now for the next 3 years that comes in place in 2018. And all the managers of CREB are part of that, as well as all of the directors. The Charitable Foundation is also involved with it. And we do plan this stuff way, way in advance.
Nice.
And that's the key. I mean, we will not jump on any product just because we want to jump on a product.
Right.
And members need to know that. I mean, this wasn't a split decision, hey, let's go with this one, right? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, flip a coin. Not at all. The work's there. And we think now you're going to see very little problem with this box going forward. We're glad to see some of the positive comments coming back that what you can do with this box you could never do with others.
That's so true.
I mean, sending out a home inspector and to be able to send out a one-day code, or your client locks themselves out of their house, you can send them a one-day code and let them get the key to open it and put it back in the box.
Yeah.
It's great.
You got it.
Yeah.
Cool. Should we, enough about lockboxes?
Yeah. Let's move on. RMS, another.
RMS.
Yeah, RMS. Updates on how
Yeah.
that's going and the task force.
Okay, I put together at our last our last board meeting, a President's Task Force. And what it is
The President's Task. Did you name
President
it that?
Task. Well, Alan told me I had to.
Oh, I love it. The President's
I was going to
Task
name it the
Force.
David P. Brown Task Force,
That's
but
right.
no, apparently too long.
David P. Brown Task Force.
But anyhow, the task force, we've got some good directors on it. We have Sarah Johnston on it. We have Doug Coop, who's on it, and Marianne Mears, who's on my task force. And what they're looking at is the involvement of the RMS and our members. As we know, RMS came down from our provincial government that was put to RECA that said, solve the problem,
Yep.
everybody has to be on the same board measuring
Do it now.
across the province.
Yep.
No ifs, ands, or buts. Our biggest complaint, there should have been more of a rollout
Right.
so that we had more time to educate our members on it. But there wasn't. We have to deal with what RECA did. Now our thing is data integrity. RECA has said that if there's any problems with the measurements, they're going to take care of it. And if you watch their monthly newsletter that comes out, you've probably seen a lot of people getting charged $1,500. That's where it's starting. And people say, oh, $1,500, I'll take my risk. That's just where it's starting. They can increase that to $5,000 to $10,000 to $20,000, whatever they feel is right. So if you've got a repeat offender that's doing it 2 or 3 times,
Wow.
they'll no longer have a $1,500 fine. So we put our task force together to say, CREB has always been really, really focused on data integrity in our database. It's the key to being realtors. We have to have an accurate database so we have accurate information for our buyers, our sellers, etc. So what we've done now is we're looking at saying, hey, RECA, can we take some of this back and can we now go in and make sure that if we see a condo that says it's 5,000 square feet condo and the registered size says it's 4,000 square foot condo, we've got a problem,
Yeah.
right? How could it be more? But we do see this. In the situation we have right now, it goes to RECA. We don't send it or anything. It'll only go there if somebody complains.
Right.
And then RECA has to follow up with it. For years, we had audit checkers that would look and say, okay, we're going to look at it. We're going to see what it is. If we think it's out of line, we're going to ask the realtor to produce how they measured this property to come up with these numbers. So our task force is looking at that right now and looking at the various different options so we can bring that back into line at CREB. Because as I said, RECA said, hands off. So we have no choice. We've had members call us and say, well, so-and-so in the same building as me says they're 600 square feet bigger than I am, and that's impossible. I have the whole plans here.
Yeah.
It's not right. We say, we can't do a thing about it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, RECA will not allow us. So that's what we're working on at the moment. Hopefully we'll have something by our June board meeting that we can go forward with. So
Excellent.
looking good.
So you guys are on it.
Absolutely. And that's the key thing. We are on it. Anytime we hear from members, believe me, we're on it. We don't take anything and shove it under the carpet whatsoever. We are here to work on any problems that come up.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for that. One more on a more fun topic.
You bet.
Before I get to my other list of questions, my sub list.
This
Just
was
kidding.
only
Yeah.
the warm-up.
That's right. That's right. No. Charity golf tournament.
Charity
something
golf.
that's
I'm
extremely,
actually going to write this down. I'm going to steal your pen.
extremely near and dear to my heart.
Absolutely.
Charity and golf just together are the best thing ever.
Well, we've found years, in the last 10 years, really, most tournaments you enter now are all charity ones.
That's right.
And it's good to go to. The money goes to good cause. Our charitable foundation may get anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000 to go towards our
That's so
charitable focuses throughout the year from this event. And this year, we're going to have it back at the Sirocco Golf Club.
Beautiful.
Anybody that attended it last year, it's a wonderful facility just south of Spruce Meadows.
It is.
Wonderful golf course. I can't say enough about it. The food was tremendous. The people there are tremendous. And I mean, I'm a golfer myself, and I play all over the place. And to me, it's one of the top in the city.
Nice.
agree.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And we're having it in August, so
Okay.
we're
Weather should be
past
good.
we're past all those thunderstorms that happened in July during
Cool.
Stampede Week, right? So
That's right.
We're August the 3rd.
Okay.
And we started last year having an early start. I think we started at 8:30 last year, and right now it's scheduled the same sort of time. That way people could come in, attend it, you're out of there by a decent hour. You're not leaving
showings
at
in the
10
evening
o'clock
if
at
you
night.
need to. That's right.
Absolutely.
When can you sign? When can you register for this?
We're probably still another month out
Okay.
before they have it, but
So
have
just
a
save
look
the
for
date
it.
for now. Stick it
You
in your
betcha.
calendar.
Put it in your calendar for now, and we'll start seeing some stuff fairly soon on it.
Start putting together your foursome now.
Yeah,
the people that
absolutely.
love golfing, and then you guys can get in because it will sell out.
And
Our
Lindsay,
golf tournament's in September.
oh, I'll
and
be
you
there.
come to our
That's
golf
right.
You
That's right.
tournament.
bet,
You
I
will be
do.
there, yeah.
Yeah.
I got the highest score. Proud of it. But, you know, I always say to my realtors and any other members, this is an opportunity to come. Bring 2 or 3 of your clients.
Oh,
You've
totally.
got them for a full 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get to know you. They feel comfortable. And it's a business building day as well as, you know, a fun day.
Absolutely.
And I always do. I bring usually 2 or 3 clients, and we just have a great time.
That's
real
awesome.
good.
Good for
Yeah.
you. Well, thank you so much for being on.
My
we really
pleasure.
appreciate it.
Again, thanks very much for the invite. And I've got, I think, about 8 months left. And if you see fit, certainly invite me back. I'd love to come back again.
We'd love to have you.
David,
We will
thank
for
you
sure.
so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back, and Kirsten's going to take us through some of the ways to implement Best My Nest into your
Yeah.
business.
Be right back.